Good afternoon and welcome to our High Performance for a Triumphant Life podcast, episode 11. And I'm so excited to be with you today. And we have a special guest. Just wait to hear the stories that we have to tell you today. And the topic is that you own the most powerful tool to create a fabulous life. And I bet you don't even know it. So when I think of like a powerful tool, we always respond to this and talk about this at our farm. Because as a small farm, we always look at other farmers and admire their tools, right? They always have these big fancy tractors, and we're such a small, struggling farm. And we're very proud of our old, rundown, very aged tractor. And this thing is orange, but it's like half rusty, and it makes a lot of noise, and the one door is all cracked and hangs there. But we love our tractor, and we call it Orange Crush. Because Orange Crush helps us move mulch and do different things that would take us 1,000 hours and lots of muscle to do on our own. So we're always so thrilled about our power tool, right? And guys are always like, yeah, I got this great saw or, this incredible tool to help me do these incredible things. Well, I use it as an example because you have already the most incredible tool to create the most incredible life. That tool is with you every minute of every day. It very conveniently transports everywhere that you want to go because that tool is right between your ears. It is your mind. And the power of your mind to create an incredible, fabulous life is something that you need to understand. And I believe this is the most important topic to improving your life and to living a fabulous life. So in high performance, we teach that the world's most accomplished and successful people master their mind. They take that tool that's between their ears and they work it and they massage it and they master it so that they can use that tool to their advantage. They use that tool to create the best life in every area of their lives. And they continue to use that tool every minute of every day to keep going beyond where they are today in every area of their lives. And that is why, through 20 years of research, we know that the world's highest performers master their mind. We work on the psychology. And this is what we want you to understand today. So I want you to think about, do you find yourself thinking of negative thoughts often, or worry and fear? Is that something that consumes your thoughts and your life? And if so, how does that affect you? How does that affect the way you feel? How does that affect your life? And we spoke last time about your energy vibration. And these thoughts of fear, anger, worry, guilt, shame, frustration are very low energy vibration thoughts. And the more you think about thoughts in that manner, the more your life is going to reflect that back. But we're teaching you in our Triumphant Life of Abundance course and in this podcast that you want to reach for thoughts that are steps up that ladder of vibration and reach for thoughts until you eventually get to peace, love, joy, bliss, whatever, all these amazing high vibration thoughts. So think of a time when you were feeling fabulous, mentally, emotionally, physically. Think of a time when you were experiencing the most success in your life. What were you thinking? What did you feel like, right? I want you to remember that time, and I want you to think about what could you do today to create those same thoughts and feelings that you had before when you were experiencing the most success in some area of your life or all areas of your life. And isn't it kind of interesting that when something's going well, like everything seems to go better, okay? Or when something's not going well, everything gets worse. It's like the snowball effect. Well, we want to teach you how to get that snowball going in the right direction and up the ladder of energy vibration. So you have this tool, your mind, and the power of your mindset. And I'm so thrilled to have with us today one of my relatively new coaching clients. We have Lisa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It is so wonderful for you to be willing for me to drag you across town and in front of the camera, almost at the spur of the moment. We only decided this last night because you called me yesterday and we were talking about some things and you shared with me an amazing story.
Yes.
And the story was so powerful that I feel it would be of great value to share it with our audience. And just to give you kind of how this led to us being here today, we were on only our second coaching call a few days ago. And at the very beginning of the call, Lisa explained to me that she lost her zest for life. Everything was uncomfortable. She was feeling like disappointed and frustrated with her life overall, like pretty much all areas. And I knew in that conversation that I needed to help her raise her thinking, to raise her energy vibration so that she could begin to experience a better life. But I knew because she was suffering so much, and I'm very passionate about getting somebody who's struggling and suffering to the next level of their lives immediately. I then asked you, I said, Lisa, okay, what is the next thing that you're doing, right? And what did you tell me?
After our call, I was going to a cafe to do some writing.
Okay, she was going to a cafe. So how simple and basic is that, right? We all stop at cafes often throughout the week. So I said to Lisa, I said, I want you, as soon as you walk through the door of that cafe, to be a trigger for you to start being aware, being present in the moment, being engaged in the moment. And I want you to start looking at all of the details of this cafe and begin to experience being in that cafe at a level greater than you have ever experienced before. I want you to notice that everything is a miracle. One of the things you said to me that I triggered on was, I said, what's something you could notice? And you said, the aroma of the coffee. And I said, that's brilliant. I want you to look at every detail, smell the aroma, get the whole experience of being in that cafe, because that is a miracle. It's actually a miracle that you can get in your car and drive to this place where you can go in and witness all of the people there enjoying their coffee, maybe having a conversation, maybe working on their computer, like the whole experience of having someone there to make wonderful coffee for you and maybe some other treats. And you can not only smell the aroma, but taste the wonderful coffee or tea, whatever you're enjoying. That is a miracle that we can even have that experience today. And we all take it for granted. So tell me about that experience in the cafe. Like what happened then after that conversation when you entered?
Okay, well, during our conversation, I was very down that day. I was in my habit of negative thoughts throughout the day, and I just felt like nothing really was going right that day. And when I got off the phone with you, I drove to the cafe, and I started to use some of the tools that we had talked about. And before I walked in, I should say, I stopped and I took a deep breath. And when I opened the door, I guess I envisioned myself walking into somewhere like for the first time. And I was going to try to collect all the details of that place.
I mean, you've been to this cafe before?
I have been to the cafe before. So,
how many times before would you say?
Maybe half a dozen.
Okay.
And so I had walked in and immediately noticed somebody sitting in the first table, and I looked around. And of course, the smell of coffee kind of hit me first. And there are things I never noticed about the cafe before. And I sat down, I got my drink, I sat down, and I was there to do some writing. And so as I was sitting there, I was just looking around at all the different decorations they had and like kind of feeling the vibe of the place. And I thought about what you said, and I had just made a point to really look at it. And there were so many things that I hadn't noticed before that it was just so cute and quaint. I ended up snapping a picture of my beautiful old wooden farm table and the flower they had in the center and the menu they had on the wall. And I sent it to you just to say, like, look how cute this is, you know? And I really never noticed because I had run in and got a drink to go before, things like that. So that experience was completely different than any other time I'd gone there. And I enjoyed it more. I sat down, I was relaxed, and I sat there for well over an hour writing. And it was just very nice.
A more fulfilling experience, isn't it, when you look at it? Let me tell you, this cafe was so cute. I was in a meeting after we talked, and my text went off, and I looked, there's a photo. Literally, what Lisa did was took a picture of this amazing wooden table, and on the table was this beautiful sunflower. And what did I text back to you? That's a miracle of nature right there, sunflower. I mean, sunflower is a miracle of Mother Nature. And then behind it, I could see like the menu on the wall, and there was like a pirate poster with a P. That's our baseball team here in Pittsburgh. And like every detail was so cute. I did not expect when I told you to do that exercise that the cafe you were going to was so adorable.
Right.
And it was incredible. It's an incredible experience. So what happened after that?
Well, just to say, I actually sat at that same table before, but I just sat there. Like, I didn't really take in the details of the place, and it is a really adorable place. So I, again, used, like I said, some of the tools we had talked about in our conversation, and I was trying to shift my mindset. And I was actually happier when I left that cafe because it was very cute and just very peaceful being there. So I'm going to fast forward to the next day. I woke up in the morning, and right away, my old habits started where I had some negative thinking and, you know, waking up thinking, is this going to go right today? What's going to happen today? And I thought about what we talked about, and I immediately started shifting my mindset and literally stopping myself and saying, no, I'm not thinking that way today. And I started to think, you know, in a more positive way, trying to raise my energy vibration, as we talked about. And this probably happened a half a dozen times during the morning, where I literally had to stop myself physically and change the direction of my thoughts. And so later on in the afternoon, I had gone to a store in Pittsburgh, Nordstrom Rack, which is a popular store. And I was returning some items, and I had decided to go to the shoe section. Now, something you don't know about me, I'm a complete shoe enthusiast. I have well over 100 pair of shoes. Oh. And so being a stay-at-home mom without a lot of extra disposable income, I don't buy shoes very often right now because I pretty much have everything. Mm-hmm. But I decided I'm just going to peruse the shoe section, and so I did. And I found a pair of shoes that I have nothing like them, a pair of Sperry shoes, which I'm not a big fan of, but I liked these. And when I looked at the price, they're usually $90 to $110 that I've seen.
Wow.
When I looked at the price, they were on sale for $18. And I was like, wow, even I could afford that. So I took the shoes to the register, and I said to the girl, these are actually only $18. And she said, I'll ring them up for you. And she scanned them and said to me, they're ringing up a cent. And I said,
what? Penny?
She said, do you have a penny? And I said, what? I was very shocked. I could not believe it. I thought she was joking with me. And I said, are you serious? And she said she was. And I said, I have a penny, you know. And I said, why would they be that cheap? I mean, you might as well give them to me. And she went into some long explanation about their inventory system that I don't remember. And I gave her a penny, and I asked for the receipt. And she kind of looked at me weird. And I said, not that I'd return a pair of shoes for a penny, but nobody's going to believe me that I bought these for a penny. And as I was walking out, literally physically hit me. I'm like, you know why these came to me? Because all day I have been changing my way of thinking, and I've been trying to raise my energy vibration like we talked about. And like I said, I'm a shoe enthusiast. I've been buying shoes for decades. I have never got a pair of shoes for a penny. And I truly believe they were brought to me as an example of what can happen when you change your entire mindset. And I literally called you, and I told you about it only because I truly believe that's why it happened.
And the weirdest thing of all, she's telling me this story, and my jaw dropped because literally 15 minutes before Lisa called me to tell me the story, I'm on the phone with my father, and my father was talking about how, you know, he watches the stock market and he'll say, oh, I made $5,000 today. and that's fine. But when he finds a penny on the ground, he gets so excited. And I said, oh yeah, those are pennies from heaven, and that sometimes it feels good. I said, but it's funny, you can't buy a single thing for a penny today. I literally said that to my father on the phone. I said, you can't even buy a gumball, I don't think, for a penny. I think they're nickel or dime now. And here, Lisa calls me and tells me this story. Do you see, now we're not saying that everybody's gonna go out and be able to buy things for a penny, but this was a sign. It was a sign from God, a sign from the universe. Lisa, the power of just shifting your mindset. What could happen for you in your life, right? What limitations are you creating because there's a limiting mindset? As soon as we begin to shift that, and it takes work, right? You had to keep catching yourself. Yes. And that's a sign of a high performer. You kept saying, okay, I'm having this thought, I need to make a shift. And you kept working it and working it. It takes effort, but anything worthwhile takes effort. So I want you to know the most powerful tool that you could ever possibly own to create a fabulous life is right here. And the mind is a terrible thing to waste. So we're not wasting our minds anymore. We are encouraging you to use that tool. You have it. You are now empowered with the most important thing you could ever know to improve your life. My post on Facebook this morning was, make a decision today to make this the best day of your life. Make the decision. And what am I saying? You're making a decision to have the mindset that today is going to be the best day of your life. And when you start learning how to do that, every day can become the next best day of your life. And hopefully we all get to buy $90 shoes for a penny. So thank you for joining us on the High Performance Concepts to Live a Triumphant Life. And thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
You are a dear. I'm so honored for you to be my client, because this fuels me to continue to help as many people as possible to live a better life. Thank you for joining us, and have a beautiful, perfect, amazing day.